This is the tale of a cocktail with two names. I'm Brian Johnson. In this episode of Better Cocktails at Home, we're making the Zaza cocktail. And interesting enough, I've seen it in multiple places where it pretty much is the same cocktail as the Dubonnet cocktail. And I'm not, this happens sometimes where, maybe the ratios are a bit different or whatever, but it's pretty much the same exact drink. And I think the Zaza name is pretty interesting, so that's what I call it when I make it. But I think it's got some good flavors to it, and it uses a fortified wine you don't see every day, especially if you're new to cocktails. But that's what we're going to make tonight in this episode is the Zaza cocktail. So, to start with, we're going to use gin as our base spirit, and I've seen some recipes call for this to be equal parts base spirit to Dubonnet rouge gin. I do it a little bit off, not exactly 1-to-1. So I do an ounce of gin, and I'm gonna use Beefeater in this case. I think it's a good gin at a good price point, and it's a classic. We're gonna do an ounce. We add that to our mixing glass. And then the next ingredient we're going to use is called Dubonnet rouge. And this is the fortified wine I mentioned. And interesting enough, the version that we get in America is different than the version that you can buy in Europe. And I've never had the European version, but I've read that it's a superior product. And that's actually a lot of the fortified wines, even certain spirits. Sometimes the stuff we get in America is dumbed down is maybe the wrong word, but it's not quite as good or maybe not quite as flavorful in certain ways. So if you can get the European version, I would probably recommend trying that. If you can't, this Dubonnet rouge is pretty easy to find, and it's what we have to work with. So I'll do it 1.5 ounces of Dubonnet rouge. And add that to our mixing glass. And the final ingredient is add a dash of orange bitters. And now I see some recipes have called with no orange bitters. I've seen a couple with orange bitters. I generally throw in the orange bitters. And just a dash will do. And that's all that goes into this cocktail. And because all of our ingredients are clear, we're going to be stirring this drink. You probably want to stir about 20 seconds just to get it all mixed up and chilled to the proper coldness. And that should do it. And then this is an interesting tool. It's called a julep strainer, and I like to use this when I do stirred drinks just because it's something different. If you have a Hawthorne strainer, which is the strainer with a spring, you can use that. It doesn't really matter. And then strain that into your cocktail glass. And then I've seen some recipes call for no garnish. I enjoy a little bit of lemon peel. I think it just adds a little bit of nice citrus to it. So if you don't have the lemon peel, no worries. Then just squeeze at the top, just once around. That should do it. I mean, depending on how you mix this drink, obviously you're either going to get more gin or more of the Dubonnet rouge. But I find the 1 ounce of gin with 1.5 ounces of Dubonnet rouge gives it enough backbone with the gin-based spirit to kind of make it feel kind of bracing to a point. But I think it's a really nice cocktail. It was really easy to make. You can make it up super quick, stir it up. I really like it though. So my question is, have you ever tried Dubonnet, rouge specifically, or any other the Dubonnets, and did you like it? But that's how you make the Zaza cocktail.